Good morning, Card Media is RJ, back with another video, so let's get to it. Today's random Mike Schmidt item of the day from 2013 Panini, Hometown Heroes, Homegrown Heroes insert. Just obviously an insert of stars of various towns. And certainly since Mike Schmidt played his entire career in the Phillies organization, technically he is a hometown hero of the Phillies, but he's not exactly a homegrown hero because he didn't grow up in the Philadelphia suburbs. Obviously, he grew up in the area surrounding Dayton, Ohio. So I don't know if this is actually a homegrown hero or not, but it is a card Panini issued with Mike Schmidt on it, so I had to have it, of course. Today's random baseball item of the day. I do like reading baseball biographies, Hall of Famers. I'm working on a collection of one biography book form of every member of the Hall of Fame. Now, it's going to take me a while. They keep coming out with new Hall of Famers. I have a lot of books to acquire, but this one made me smile. So I have a hard copy. The dust jacket is gone. It says, "Nice Guys Finish Last" by Leo DeRocher and Ed Lynn. Now, real quick, it's funny. I didn't know. I started reading the book. I didn't realize, probably should have, DeRocher's name is actually a derivation of French. The correct French pronunciation of DeRocher is Durocher. And, Leo talks about having grown up in an area of area of Massachusetts, Springfield specifically, that was French speaking. He grew up in the early 19 teens and 20s, early 1900s. DeRocher grew up, and back in that day, you still had certain areas of the country speaking their native dialect or their native language when they had large immigrant populations clustered together in various enclaves of the towns, and would just continue speaking their native tongue rather than switching over to English. Leo grew up speaking French. I did not know that. But anyway, the reason I have this book is because I've read a lot of baseball biographies in my day. Mostly it's just some guy talking about his life and history. And they're very bland, very toned down. Not a lot of, baseball locker room talk. Leo's book is different. It's right out there. It's like listening to him speak. The language he writes in. Now, he didn't write it. Ed Lynn certainly wrote it, but Ed spoke it. But Leo spoke it, and Ed, to his credit, wrote it down almost verbatim. And I want to read two things here that just made me chuckle. Now, in the section I'm going to read, Leo, it's early in the book. It's kind of like an introduction, but Leo's, in this particular portion, Leo's complaining about Walter Alston. Leo was still a coach with the Dodgers in the early 60s when Walter Alston took over the reins. And here he is battling with the managerial style of Walter Alston, and he's complaining about Walter. So let me read this portion of it. So, okay. So, where am I here? Okay, he's complaining about Leo. He's complaining about Walter Alston. Says, "And boy, he took the bats right out of their hands. He took the bats out of their hands, and brother, their assholes tightened up so that you couldn't drive a needle up there." I mean, I can see Leo DeRocher saying that in the locker room. And then he's talking again. He goes, "Whenever I held a meeting on a team that was that tight, it would be to say, 'Come on, for Christ's sake, you're playing like a lot of $2 whores.'" I couldn't believe that they wrote this in a book. I mean, it came out in 1973. It certainly wasn't made for kids, but that just made me laugh. The fact that they would put that in the book. And Leo DeRocher, God bless Leo for being true to himself when he wrote his book. That's fantastic. That's just started. I can't wait to see what other kind of gems he has in store. So think about getting that book. "Nice Guys Finish Last" by Leo DeRocher. Quite the enjoyable tome of knowledge from Leo DeRocher. So anyway, Today's trivia question, Mike Piazza, the treasure prize here. Mike Piazza Pinnacle from 1997. Really do like this image. You know, he's looking at somebody running, but the ball dropped in front of him. I think he probably blocked it. And he's got his eye on the runner as he's reached down to pick up the ball, whipping the mask off. Looks like they're playing the Expos. Hard to tell. I think that's an Expos. He's still with the Dodgers at this time, I believe. Yeah. So, but a really cool looking card of Mike Piazza, 2007 Pinnacle. If you can answer this question, might take a little bit of research, but I found it, so can you. There's a very famous YouTube clip. You can look it up. I highly recommend you do it, where Ted Williams visited Mike Piazza's house one day. Why? Ted was in the area around Norristown, Pennsylvania for a card show signing. I was going to be charging money to sign at a show somewhere. Tommy Lasorda is good friends of Mike Piazza's dad. I guess he knew Ted was going to be in town, so Tommy Lasorda reached out to somebody in Ted's circle of acquaintances and said, hey, if Ted's got a chance, can he stop by and take a look at this kid I know? He's got a batting cage in his backyard, and he would love it if Ted came by and gave him some pointers. Now, Ted Williams is a hitter once, always, forever. So whenever he had an opportunity to sit down and talk to somebody about hitting, to look at a young kid who somebody said was worthy of visiting and checking out his style, Ted was going to go. So Ted went, and there's a YouTube video, there's film up on YouTube of that interaction. It's really cool to watch. And while he was visiting with Mike Piazza, Mike, being a big baseball fan, had a book written by Ted Williams, and he asked Ted to sign that book, and he did. He inscribed it with something. I want you to tell me which book by Ted Williams did Mike Piazza get Ted to sign that day in 1984? What was the title of Ted's book? So that's the question. Shoot me an email with the correct answer. I will include my email in the description below, along with a repeat of that question. You will have today and tomorrow to answer. We will pick a winner on Sunday, all right? Good luck to everybody on that one. Today, showing off a couple new box sets in my collection, and I'm kind of bummed because I know I had the original sets. I can't find them, but I'm going to have to rebuy them if I can't find them. I know I had them. I swear I still have them somewhere in this absolute mess of a room, but it would have been the 3 years that this company produced these sets, starting in 1992, but I can't find the 1992 sets. I recently purchased the 1993 and 1994 sets, so I'm going to show those off. From Kraft, the food company, what they call Kraft Singles, the cheese, I should say, but anyway, from Kraft, Superstars pop-up action cards. So they did one National and one American League release each year for 3 years. And they were, in fact, pop-up cards. You can see here, you're supposed to take the card in here. You actually get one of these per package of cheese, or you can send in for the whole set. And this is the whole set. And the whole set came boxed up. And here's this little thing, tells you how to properly pop it open and pop it up. You could buy more if you wanted to. A little book, little stuff about it, all kinds of cool offers and whatnot. 1993. This is the American League version. So these are your American League stars. Did I miss it? I put it back. There we go. Starts with Jim Abbott. I guess these are alphabetical. Abbott, Alomar, Roberto Alomar, Sandy Alomar Jr., George Brett, Roger Clemens. Obviously, these are, what do I want to say, airbrushed out because they didn't have the license from Major League Baseball. They simply got the Players Association license. Dennis Eckersley, Cecil Fielder. And these are from 1993, so imagine who was a star back in the day. Obviously, you got your junior, Don Mattingly, Mark McGuire, Herbie Puckett, Cal Ripken, Nolan Ryan, Robin Ventura. Having Nolan Ryan and Robin Ventura back-to-back, that's a little subtle hint. And then Robin Yount. And you look on the back, I don't see who is the, I don't see a copyright. In other words, who produced the set for them. Doesn't say, just says MLB Kraft. Let's see. Doesn't say who printed it. Said what it was printed in Canada. Anyway, those were the first 15. There were 2 sets of 15, one American League, one National League. This was the American League, all right? Put those back. The National League is this one. So the National League, same little coupon here. Andy Van's, let me flip it around this way. Bob, same as alphabetical. Bob, it starts at 16 now instead of 1. Bobby Bonilla, Ken Caminiti, Will Clark, Darren Dalton, Doug Drabeck, Delano DeShields, Tom Glavine, Tony Gwynn, Oral Hershiser, Barry Larkin, Terry Pendleton, Ryan Sandberg, Gary Sheffield, Lee Smith, and Andy Van Slyke. So really cool little thing. Hang on a second. Commercial break for a moment. Had to go close the door to my room. Family just came home and started yapping. I wanted to close them out. So anyway, this was the set from 1993. Again, the first set of these Kraft singles pop-up All-Stars came out in 1992. I know I have them. At least I had them in the past. I don't think I would have gotten rid of them, but I can't find them. I don't know why. I looked for them, couldn't find them. Just recently picked up the 93 set. I also just recently picked up the 94 set. Same thing. You got your American and your National League sets. They were available to purchase as a set, or you could get them in your Kraft slices. So again, alphabetical. Who was popular in 94? Carlos Baerga, Eck, Cecil Fielder, Juan Gahn, Junior Still, Mark Langston, Brian McRae, Paul Molitor, Kirby Puckett, Cal Ripken, Danny Tartabull, Frank Thomas, Greg Vaughn. I thought that was Cecil for a second. And then Mo Vaughn, Greg Vaughn and Mo Vaughn. Cool. That was your American League set, your National League set in 1994. That's just a coupon inside there still. These are your National Leaguers. Jeff Bagwell from 1994. Barry Bonds, Bobby Bowe, Delino DeShields, Dykstra, loving that. Love to see Dykstra. Andres Galarraga, Tom Glavine, Mark Grace, Tony Gwynn, David Justice, Barry Larkin, Piazza, Gary Sheffield, Ozzie Smith, and Andy Van Slyke. So that is, again, from 1993 and 1994, the Kraft singles pop-up box sets. Now, it doesn't classify as a box set as far as thetradingcarddatabase.com, because thetradingcarddatabase.com classifies box sets as only being available in box set format, even though there are other sets out here in the world that you can get as a box set. Unless they're only distributed that way, that doesn't classify as a box set on the trading card database. So anyway, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed that little set. You know, maybe this is something you want to collect. I'd love to see somebody else's really cool, obscure food product sets. I do enjoy those. The 1990s, the 80s and 90s were filled with food product sets. It's just, I mean, there's such a plethora of those. So, like I said, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please consider liking, subscribing, commenting, and all that jazz. I really do appreciate your support as I try my best to support everybody in this great card community, all right? We got one more video on Friday. Really cool stuff to show off that day. And we'll do the trivia recap on Sunday, all right? Come back for that. Thank you all for watching. Have a great rest of your week. Hope to see you on Friday and Sunday. Take care.